All right. Hi, everybody. Happy Earth Day if you're watching this. It's Wednesday, April 22nd, as we record our weekly video. And today we're just talking about how the gospel that is coming up this Sunday is from Luke, and it's Luke 24:13-35. It's often referred to as the road to Emmaus. And it's about these two disciples that are walking to Emmaus that is about 7 miles out of Jerusalem. And this is a few days after Jesus has died, and they're walking when all of a sudden this man appears next to them and walks with them as they're talking about what's happened. And the man says, "Tell me what's going on." And they say, "How can you not know? Jesus has died." And the interesting thing is they don't actually know that this man that has appeared is actually Jesus. They do not recognize Jesus. And Jesus just walks with them and listens to them and ends up going back to their house and breaking bread with them, which is when the disciples actually realize it has been Jesus this whole time. And so this week for our Sunday school, all ages Sunday school project, we'd love for you to, again, create the story visually in some way with Legos or drawing. But today we actually wanted to focus on one kind of particular aspect of the story.
Thanks, Kirsten. I'm in South Minneapolis today and going for a little walk by my house. And everybody I've heard, especially when it gets nicer out, is walking a lot more. Or maybe they're going for a run or using their bike. And so we came up with 2 quick ideas this week for you to do mindful walking. And we wanted to share them with everybody.
Yeah, it's actually like I'm on my walk too. It's like we're walking together, Katie. I love it. So I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of a walking meditation or mindfulness walk that you can take alone or with your family. It'd be great for little kids. And you can do it if you can't go on a walk. You can do it just sitting on your deck or open the window and look out the window and focus on your senses and try to think of pick hearing and try to hear 5 different things. So you could listen for the birds, your breathing, your footsteps. You could hear cars or airplanes, anything that you can hear, and just focus on those things. You could choose to focus on 5 things that you can feel, like the wind, or pick up some grass, feel the grass in your hands or the leaves in your hands, or 5 things that you can see. And this is a fun one with kids. You could think about 5 different things of colors, like 5 green things that you see, or 5 blue things, and just try to focus on these 5 things, these different senses. And it's a great way to kind of stay present in the moment and to stop your mind from kind of wandering. And it's something that you can do not just when you're walking, but anytime that you're feeling your mind racing and you want to kind of refocus in the present.
Oh, that's really cool. And you could keep a notebook or a phone log as you went too. Like you could use your memos, or you could just do it as a prayer thought just between you and Jesus. Another thing I thought of is
for sure.
I was thinking of, as you go, you could look for things to pray for specifically in your city. Like, do you know the name of your mayor, or do you know some of your council people? And you could pray for people in your city or your school principal or each of your neighbors. If you don't know their names, when you go by their house, you could look up at their house number, and you could say, "I pray for those in 4149 here on this avenue," or just pray for health and safety, or pray for joy. Another thing I saw people doing, and maybe people have this I have this in front of our house. You could keep sidewalk chalk outside your house, and as you walk, you could leave messages of hope, or just a big heart, or big smiles, and that could be part of your walk too.
I love that. That's a fun thing too, and to look for on your walk is other things or hearts that people have put in their windows. Cool. And so Rosella White actually wrote this great lesson that talks about this, and she says that this story, this Road to Emmaus story, really helps us to think about how we can walk together with others, how we can form real relationships with them, and how we can share our lives with them, just like Jesus did in this story. And one thing that we've seen people doing and encourage you all to think about how you can do is to write letters to people. And we've had people, the youth have written letters to the elementary students at our church. We've had the elementary students writing to the elderly, and specifically the 5th and 6th graders wrote to their partners that they've had at the Waters as they've been visiting there this year, the nursing home next to our church. And so that's a really great way that we can walk with others during this time, and just to be with them, even though we can't physically be walking with them, we're with them in that way, sharing our lives with them through our letter writing. And you can still do that. So email Katie or I.
Yep.
You what?
I even got a few letters from people. I was so surprised.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. That is awesome. So that's a really great way, I think, that we can walk together. Or just, hey, FaceTime your good friend and walk with them like this, like Katie and I.
Thanks,
it's a good way to check in. Yep. See you later.
See you next week.
Okay, bye.